Hey guys, Esther Lewie here, and today on Recognize Your Level of Crazy and Manage It with EQ when dealing with loss. So today guys, we're going to talk about loss, and primarily, we're talking about the loss of someone. We're talking about maybe a relationship, a job, any one of those kinds of things. But today, specifically, we're going to talk about losing a loved one. And I recently lost a friend of mine, very recently. And, I went through the different stages. I'm going through the different stages of grief and loss. And so I really wanted to do a video to help anyone who is going through something like this as well. And I brought us into this beautiful space today because I do different videos with different scenes, and nature is one of those things that is another EQ tool. It is another very important tool to our mental and emotional health and overall well-being. And so I brought us out here into nature so that we can really use its power to help us. Now, just a reminder that this channel is all about raising and developing our emotional intelligence and emotional quotient muscles. And in that process, we are able to to recognize and manage the crazy. And so it's all part of the process. And so here we go. Let's get into it. So the first stage of loss, not stage, but step in moving through it is the process of acceptance. And when I talk about acceptance, it's very important to understand and embrace the concept that we are human, we are spiritual beings on a human journey. And so what that means is that we are spiritual beings. We are all here to learn life lessons. We are here in Earth School for a reason. And so at some point, we have to go back home. We have to receive our next assignment, and we have to continue on the journey. Unless we are finished with that journey. And only every individual soul will know that. So that's the first part of this. And so part of this now is that the first step becomes acceptance, and accepting that everything is in perfect timing and in perfect divine appointment. And so I know with that, when you're dealing with loss and you're dealing with grief, it may be a very hard thing to accept. It may be a very hard thing to understand. But I have found that when I have done that, it has helped me tremendously, because it allows me to accept that things are the way they are, and there are just certain things I cannot change or control, and maybe I just don't understand them. And sometimes it's okay to not always understand everything, because that allows life to just be a little bit simpler. The second step is allow yourself to grieve. Allow yourself to have the emotion. Allow yourself to just go through it. Don't beat yourself up. Oh, I should be like this, or I should be like that, or I should be feeling this, or I should be feeling that. There's no such thing. Every person has the right to experience whatever emotion they want to experience. The difference, though, is that making sure that when you are experiencing what you're experiencing, that you don't put that energy out on other people, and that you don't force your energy on other people. It's a different video, and that's a different conversation. And so let's not go into that right now. And you're welcome to check out my videos about different topics having to do with relationships, or how to deal with other humans, or how to deal with challenges. It's all in the channel, so you're welcome to go there. So just making sure that you can totally experience whatever you want to experience. That's your right. Just make sure that you're experiencing in your space. Don't put that on other people, okay? The next step here is do whatever you need to do to grieve and to process this pain that you might be feeling of a loss. So, for example, I lost my furry son, Lewie, about 2 years ago, and it's still very raw for me. It's still very challenging when I look at his photos, and so I try not to look at his photos too much, but when I look at the photos, I tend to still feel a little bit emotional, and I find myself getting caught up in the feelings of, oh, I could have done better, or I could have done this, or I could have done that, or what if, why didn't I think of this, or whatever I could have done to help him, keep his life here on Earth School a little bit longer. And the truth is that I did the best I could, and it was what it was. And so I had to let go, right? And I did the best I could for him so that he doesn't continue to suffer. So the point is that if looking at those photos is painful for me, then don't look at the photos, right? And so that's the point. Do what you need to do to deal with your pain. Do what you need to do to grieve. There is no right or wrong, okay? The next step is just do whatever you have to do. And that's kind of connected to the previous step, but it's basically just to remind us that it's all about that. It's just do what you have to do. Don't worry about the rights and the wrongs. There is no right and wrong. Just do what you have to do in order to process this pain and this grief that you're feeling. And then the last step here, guys, is be grateful. Be grateful for the time that you shared together. Be grateful for the time that you had these beautiful memories of you and your friend, or your pet, or whatever it is that you lost, maybe, the job or whatever it is. Think about the happy times. Think about the memories. Think about all the cool stuff that you learned. And so gratitude is, one of those tools that's really, really profound and really, really important. And it taps us into this magical place. I can't explain it to you. I don't really understand how it works from, let's say, a science perspective, but I know that energetically it feels amazing. And whenever I do it, it really just snaps me right back into a positive state. And so with that, guys, these were the following steps for dealing with grief. I hope that it can serve you on some level when you're dealing with a loss of someone or something. And, I invite you to, if you enjoy this information, I invite you to subscribe, and please share this video with anyone else that you may feel could benefit. So with that, as always, when you know and understand yourself, the world will know and understand you too. And remember, what's the best that can happen? Thank you so much for always your support, and I wish you an amazing day. Take care.